All right, I'm back. Today's January 19th, 2022. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you've noticed that I haven't posted for a week. That's because I was banned for medical misinformation. Episode 118 was a 27-minute video of me talking about masks, saying what I thought was true about masks. And a few hours after posting, I got a notification. It said my video was taken down for medical misinformation, and I got a warning. So then episode 119 that I put out the next day, I just listed out a bunch of conspiracy theories about masks to intentionally trigger the algorithm. And unsurprisingly, it was taken down within 2 hours, and I was given my first strike and a ban for a week, a suspension. So I'm back, finally. Today's the day I'm back. If you're watching this and you think yourself liberal, if you call yourself a liberal, then you must not support censorship. If you think it's a good thing that YouTube is taking down videos for medical misinformation, you're not a liberal. That's just what it is. If you think that somehow out there somewhere there's some group of people or some person or some authority that can decide what is true and what isn't true, well, it's not liberal. I don't know what that is, but it's not liberal. It's some form of elitism. That's what I think. You know, I spend a lot of time on this channel complaining about censorship. That's my main complaint, is censorship. That which cancels. That which cancels. People who support deplatforming. If you think deplatforming is a good idea, you cannot call yourself liberal. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. You're lying. You're lying. If you think that anyone out there should be deplatformed, you're not a liberal. If you think Hitler should not have a YouTube channel, you're not a liberal. That is simply the truth. Simply the truth. We've gone and gotten ourselves very confused about this term, liberal. Because I know people out there are going to be like, well, I'm liberal and I don't think that Alex Jones should have a platform. I don't think Hitler should have a platform. I don't think medical misinformation should be allowed. Hey, well, you're not a liberal. I don't know what you are. You might call yourself a liberal. You might be on the blue team, a Democrat. But you don't support liberalism. You don't. You don't. Yeah, I get that Google is a private company. I get that they can control the content on their platform. That's not what this is about at all. It's not what this is about, even in the slightest. Of course Google can control what's on their platform. Of course they have the right to monitor their content. Of course they can take down whatever they want. I'm not really complaining about that. I'm complaining about a deeper issue here, which is this idea that there's some group of people that thinks that somehow they know what's true and they can say to other people, hey, what you're saying isn't true. And not only is it not true, but you shouldn't even be allowed to say it. That's what's weird about this, right? Because where's Google getting their information from? Like, how do they know what's true and what isn't? When they banned me, when they suspended me, they give me a notification, and it gives me a link to the WHO website. It says, you have contradicted local health authorities or the WHO, and then it gives me a link to the WHO website. So I guess if I say anything that contradicts the WHO, what I'm doing is spreading misinformation or disinformation in some way or another. And I should not be allowed to do that. I should not be allowed to post YouTube videos that contradict the WHO. If you think that YouTube is making... See, this is what's weird about this, right? Because YouTube's a private company, right? They are motivated by profits, by capitalism. And I think this is actually what's scary, is that, you know, if you're looking at the actions of a company, if I'm a right-wing conspiracy theorist and I'm looking at the actions of YouTube, I'm going to say something along the lines of, oh, they want some sort of authoritarian takeover, they want to spread the gay agenda or the, you know, whatever, right? There's going to be some profit or there's going to be some motivation for them to do what they're doing, right? That I can come up with that's kind of conspiratorial. But in reality, what they're trying to do is make money. So here's the question. How is this a profitable business strategy? If they're banning me, right? They gave me one strike. They said if I do it again, I get banned for 2 weeks. So I'm afraid to talk about what I talked about. I talked about masks for 27 minutes. They didn't say what I said. They didn't tell me what I said that triggered their algorithm. But I know somewhere in 27 minutes of me talking about masks, I said something that triggered their algorithm. But what's strange to me is that assuming that Google is operating like any other capitalist organization and they're motivated by profits, assuming that this is true, they must see this as a profitable business strategy. They must see censorship as a profitable strategy for some reason. Even though what it seems to be doing is creating a marketplace for competition to arise, right? It seems like what they're doing is just incentivizing me to go find alternative places to post my videos. I mean, this is a complex conversation here because YouTube kind of has the prime mover. You know, they have the advantage right now because they have by far the best platform for posting videos, by far. YouTube has a superior content hosting, content sharing network. I mean, everybody's here already, so they have the network advantage, and they also have infinite data. So if you check out my other YouTube channel, which I just restarted this yesterday, I just posted a video to my other channel for the first time in almost 2 years. It won't be interesting to almost anybody who currently watches this channel, I think, but if you search Lunar Melee, it's a Super Smash Bros. Highlights channel that I'll make videos about that at some point. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, why is this a profitable strategy for them to censor? Right? They must be sitting there in their meeting somewhere with a bunch of people, with a bunch of money. The shareholders, the board of Google is sitting there going, should we be censoring people? And clearly they're saying yes. They're saying yes, we need to be censoring people. And they've written algorithms. They've created machines that convert these kinds of videos to text and then scans the text for certain key phrases or certain kinds of misinformation and then auto bans them. And they know this pisses people off. Like, they know it makes me upset, right? I appealed both the videos. I listed reasons. I mean, episode 119, I literally started the video saying, this is a test of the algorithm. Everything I'm about to say is not what I believe. Everything I'm about to say is not true. This is a joke. I started with that, and then I just listed out conspiracy theories. And it banned me, which is not surprising, but it kind of proves to me that this isn't a human pulling the trigger on this. It's a robot. And I'm not sure how sophisticated it is, because everything I said in episode 118 I thought was true. But apparently, well, what I think is true and what Google thinks is true are two different things. But anyway, why is this profitable? Why? They're creating incentives for people to move to other platforms. Maybe it's because they know they have the upper hand and they always will. Maybe they see censorship as I just don't, it's the same thing as when an oil company plants some trees or does some sort of nature program or something, you look at it cynically and you think, okay, yeah, sure, you guys really care about the environment, right? Like, they're just doing that to satisfy some sort of public relations, requirement. So is that what Google's doing? Are they just deleting these videos to satisfy PR, right? Are they just saying, like, yeah, look at us, we care about public health, we're taking down medical misinformation? Is it just PR? Is it because they're in cahoots with China and the globalists? Is it because they're just trying to make money? It's hard for me to see how this is a profitable strategy, because in my opinion, what I would do if I was the head of Google, I would say, okay, everything's allowed, everything. You can post whatever the fuck you want, anything. I mean, maybe I would make filters that just say, okay, if something contains gore or porn or something, maybe don't post that, or maybe make a special extra YouTube just for that. Like, I don't know what I would do, but it's strange to me that they see this as profitable. And it's actually kind of scary, because if it's profitable to censor, that means anti-liberalism is profitable. Because if you're in favor of censorship, you're not in favor of liberalism. So whatever you want to call Google's behavior, it's not liberal. I don't know how else to make it clear that free speech is like the core concept of liberalism. And it's insane to me that people who call themselves liberal, like, this is what I get caught up on all the time, because there's people who would, in a heartbeat, one second, I gotta cross this. Yeah, okay. There's people who would, without any hesitation, vote for anything that supported gay rights or black people or women. But it's like, where do you think women got the right to vote from? Where do you think that started? It started from women saying things that were pissing people off, didn't it? Or just people who supported women's rights back in the 1800s. I mean, imagine it's 1822, 200 years ago. And you're out there saying, women can think just as much as men can think. Women are as capable of making rational decisions as men, right? And you're posting videos to 1822 YouTube. They're going to get taken down for misinformation, right? Because what? Mainstream scientists back then, what were mainstream thinkers saying 200 years ago about women? What do you think they were saying? What were mainstream scientists saying back before black people got freed from slavery? You know, I'm sure there was a lot of conflicting views on both sides, but there's been a lot of quote-unquote scientists, there's been a lot of quote-unquote thinkers and mainstream thought processes that we would consider today very heterodox. We would consider them ridiculous, and back then it was the norm. So if you said something against the norm back then, your video would get taken down, right? Isn't free speech exactly the thing that we need? Don't we need people to be able to say things that everybody thinks is wrong? That's the thing we need most in society, is for people to be able to share information that everybody else thinks is wrong. That's the number one most important thing. I just watched The Big Short yesterday. It's a great movie. Weren't the people that, you know, there were people out there in 2006, 2007 who saw the crash coming, and almost all human beings on the planet thought they were wrong. They went around trying to share this information, and you know, it's the people who provide the most valuable information sometimes are the ones who are saying something that 99.9% of the population thinks is ridiculous. And so this will go for medical misinformation. Like, right, how does Google know what is true and what isn't? I mean, no matter what their source is, it could be wrong. So I just get caught up on this. I always get caught up on the free speech thing, always, because it's the most important value. It's what the Constitution, liberalism, it's what we rely on as a society, is free speech. Like, without free speech, we are lost. Without free speech, we are not a liberal society anymore. Oh my God. Okay, so I gotta stop talking about that. I'm gonna go find Dusty and change the subject. It's been a week. I haven't gotten to talk for a week. I'm all amped up about this. You know, I'm not really upset about being banned. I knew I was gonna get banned. The second video I put out, number 119, it was just, I didn't think it was gonna ban me for a week. I didn't read the rules. They warned me, and it was a bunch of words, and I was like, fuck that. And so I put out another video. I feel like I had to go visit Lake Laogai for a week. And I can assure you, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. I assure you. Masks always work. You should wear a mask all the time. I should be wearing a mask right now, honestly. I don't know why I'm not. I'm in danger right now. I could get COVID from these trees. I don't know what I said that was wrong about masks. I have no idea. They didn't tell me. They just said, hey, somewhere in the 27 minutes of you talking, you said something we didn't like. So we took down all 27 minutes. That's what they said. Today's January 19th, by the way, 2022. I don't know if I said the date yet. Dusty's loving the snow. At first, when it snowed, it was very powdery. You know, the snow was very loose. And he did not like that, because he would sink right to the bottom. His little paws would go right to the bottom, and his belly would get all cold. But now that the snow's got this nice hard layer over the top, now that the top froze, he can walk around very silently. And he's been killing birds. These poor birds. Birds are, he usually only gets very small birds, but now he gets, with the hard snow, I think he can walk around quietly around the woods and just kill whatever he wants. Apex predator over here. Okay. I might make a video where I just read off the WHO website, just word for word, verbatim. I just want to go to the public health advice page on the WHO website, the page on masks, and just read the whole thing out in a YouTube video, just to see if YouTube's algorithm will ban me. Because I'm sure that what happens is that the videos are converted to text. Because it's funny, because when you upload a video, it processes the video to check for porn and gore and stuff right before it even shows the video at all. But then there's like more processing that happens even after the video is made available. Because the videos are up for a couple hours before they get banned, which to me, you know, coming from the software developer background, makes me think that the videos are put in some sort of queue somewhere where they're just stacked up, getting ready for some machine to go through and figure out if there's any misinformation in there. So what it does is it converts the video to text just to make it easier to process, and then another algorithm goes through and scans that text for key phrases. So I'm wondering if I read the WHO website just word for word, if it will ban me for that, because there's just going to be key phrases in there. I already read it, and well, the problem is if I post that video and then I get banned, then I'm banned for 2 weeks. So if I wait 3 months, then my strike will go away, and then at least I'll only get banned for 1 week. Either way, now there's a whole subject I can't talk about. I don't know what I can say and can't say about masks that will or will not trigger the algorithm. So masks work. All of the scientific evidence says that masks work, for sure. For sure. I've missed posting these videos. I've been enjoying making this channel every day. It's like a video blog where I complain about politics, and you know, I've gone back and looked at some of my previous videos, and they're so cringy. Some of them I really hate. Like I really you know, I understand some of the complaints I get sometimes when I go back and watch some of my older videos that I don't remember, because it's like, it's not even me anymore, right? Like I don't identify with that person anymore. I'm older, I've changed. Some of those videos are 3 or 4 months old. That's a whole different Matt Denny back there. But well, anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna end this video today. Like I said, January 19th, 2022. See you later. Bye.